Hello Year 9, welcome to this week's Design and Technology lesson. This week you need to start off by completing the quiz that I've set for you on Show My Homework. If you have a look through this PowerPoint first of all, because there's bits and bobs of information on the quiz, and then if you want to go and do that and then come back to your PowerPoint. Okay, so as I said, Year 9, your starter task this week is to complete the DT quiz on Show My Homework. It's a knowledge review of your learning so far in Year 9. I'd like you to complete the quiz just the one time and then submit it, please. I'd like to see where we are with retainment of knowledge and to identify the areas that we need to recap on perhaps. The quiz will take you about 10 minutes to complete. The questions are based on learning, which we've covered in your pizza cutter project, your math set project and your furniture design project, and also some bits of learning which we covered in year 7 and 8. If you could do some independent research afterwards and make some notes on any key terms that came up in the quiz that you feel unfamiliar with, and then we can, because we will be going back in future lessons to have another look at the quiz, so that will be really useful for you. You can use your knowledge organisers, which are at the end of this PowerPoint, to recap on topics and terms. And you could also visit the Technology Student website. Everything in DT is covered there. Also, you can have a look at the Bite Size website and also GCSE Pod. Okay, so if you want to go away and complete the quiz, just do that just that one time and then submit it. And then if you could come back to continue with this week's learning. Okay, Year 9. So your main task for this week will take you the remainder of your 2 hours. And it's something new that we've not covered before, but it's something that is really relevant to this furniture project and something that is always included in the design process. So this week you are going to plan and write a manufacturing specification for your furniture design. So first of all, you're probably wondering what a manufacturing specification is. Okay, so I'm going to read through an example of what it means. So a manufacturing specification is created after the design is finalised and should contain enough information to enable a third party to manufacture the design. This begins with a detailed drawing with dimensions, often produced using computer-aided design software, but not always. So you guys can use 2D design if you've got it at home, which is probably unlikely at the moment. So drawing is absolutely fine. Then you need a parts list, which you need to prepare, including details of materials that you're going to need to manufacture the product, and also how your product will be finished. So whether it would be waxed or varnished or all of those different considerations, you need to say exactly what the finish would be. Once these are in place, there would be a flow chart to explain how the product would be constructed, so how it would all go together, and also some quality control would be included, as well as health and safety and making sure that the machinery is safe and the people making the product are safe using the tools and machinery. Okay, so there's quite a lot of different aspects and different things that need to go into a manufacturing specification. So for this week's task, I've listed on the right hand side of this slide the things that I want you to include in your manufacturing specification. And then as we work through to year 10 and year 11, you'll build on this and probably add in some extra detail. So for your manufacturing specification this week, you should include the following: a product description, so explaining what your product is, the intended scale of production, so if it's going to be a one-off piece, a batch produced piece or a mass produced piece, and bear in mind that you are designing your product for IKEA. At the same time, it's a limited edition product, so you need to have a little think about what scale of production that would be relevant for. A detailed isometric drawing of your final design idea with dimensions in millimetres, a list of materials needed, a list of tools and machinery needed, health and safety advice, and joining methods with diagrams. So you need to think about what you would use to join your product. And what I really want you to do is have a look back at the PowerPoint from a little while ago that we looked at IKEA, and we looked at all the different methods of joining the individual pieces for the flat pack furniture. So have a look back at that PowerPoint, and at the end of this one I'll put a few bits from that PowerPoint on here for you, but also if you want to have another look at the other PowerPoint in more detail. So if you're up for some extra challenges this week, you could include exploded views of joining methods in addition to your diagram. So like a magnified view of particular parts of your product. And then also your diagram, you can have a go at drawing that to scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so please have a look at the waggles on the next two slides before you start this task. These will be really useful for you. Okay, so we've got waggle number 1 here on this page, and you'll see that the words are quite tricky to read, and to be honest, that's not a bad thing, because the idea of this is for you to sort of have a look at the layout of the page and have a look at the second waggle as well, and see that there are different ways of presenting your work, as you know, and it's the same with a manufacturing specification. Although it's full of facts and you don't need to explain why you made certain decisions, you just need to give the information, you can still present your work how you choose to. So it's more for you to have a look at how it's presented and give you an idea of how much information is needed. And you can see all the subheadings on the page. And the actual detail there, you can probably have a little read through, but it needs to be obviously in your own words when you come to put all the details down for your product. And as you can see, we've got all the dimensions in there. There's some magnified drawings there as well, which is part of your extra challenge task if you want to have a go at doing that. I didn't mention to include colour, and that's something that you don't have to do, but if you wanted to do that, you can do that. But please consider the sort of presentation and making it look as professional as you can, and try as hard with your colouring in as you do with the written work and the information. Okay. Okay, so this is waggle number 2, and as you can see, it includes some computer-aided design work. So this person's used either SketchUp or some kind of 2D design package to create the diagrams, and then possibly copied and pasted some images of the components over on the left hand side. So it looks really professional and well laid out, but both of them are perfect, and personally I prefer the first one, but other people might prefer the second one, so it's completely up to you how you want to display your work. But as I said, you've absolutely no need to do the 2D design. It just might be that you've got it at home, or a parent might have it on the computer and you want to have a little go with that. That's absolutely fine. Okay. So here I've just copied the list of things that you need to include in your manufacturing specification from page 3 of this week's PowerPoint. So just to make it a little bit clearer for you, I've just put ticks to say you need to go through all these things and check that you've got them on your piece of work before you submit it. So a product description. This, you don't need to explain why you decided on certain colours and why you decided on different things. It's literally just telling the manufacturer what the product actually is. Okay, so you don't need to talk about the target market or anything like that. The intended scale of production, detailed isometric diagram of your final design idea with dimensions in millimetres, a list of materials and components that will be needed. So that would be the materials that the product's going to be made out of, the components, so the bits and bobs that you might need to join your product, any adhesives or anything like that, a list of tools and machinery needed, health and safety advice, joining methods with diagrams, and if you're up for some extra challenge, include those exploded drawings of joining methods to your diagram, and then also an extra challenge again to draw your diagram to scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so you can use this page as a checklist for your manufacturing specification. It's absolutely fine as well to use to spread your work over more than one page. It's a lot to fit onto one page, so don't worry if you need to spread it over a few pages. And next week will be our final week on the furniture project. And then after that, for the rest of this term, we'll move on to a final set of lessons based on lots of new learning, ready to get you set up for your year 10. Okay, so the next 4 slides are your knowledge organisers for Year 9 DT, and you'll be familiar with all of them. There'll be lots of things that you know that you're really familiar with, and other bits, like I've said previously, that you're not so familiar with. So they're just there for you to use as a reference, but do go to those websites that I've suggested as well, because there's lots of interactive bits and bobs on there to help you recap on prior learning. Okay. Okay, so the last 4 slides are different pages of an assembly booklet for a chair in IKEA. And this is the one that we used for previous homework, which was due on the 15th of May, if you want to go back and have a look at that on Show My Homework. So I've put this here so that you can have a look at the different knockdown fittings that are used in a chair. And then you can also go to the IKEA website and have a look for booklets that are for desks and tables and things. So your products are obviously chairs or desks. So go and have a look and then put together your ideas for the sorts of knockdown fittings that you feel would be appropriate for your product. Okay, well done Year 9, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. If you've got any questions, if you want to email your DT teacher, or you can email another DT teacher, it's up to you, but we would really like you to ask lots of questions if you're not sure about something, so that we get lots of homeworks back in to make sure that we're all set for your Year 10. Okay, have a good weekend.